All right, hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joshua Dickey. I'll be reading A Patriot's Journey, Forging Hope. I'd like to start off by reading a quote by Eddie Harris today. It says, "It takes a dream to get started, desire to keep going, and determination to finish it." Man, that's so true. It takes all three things. You got to start it. There has to be a beginning. And if you're not motivated to keep going, then how are you ever going to keep moving in the right direction? And if you're not determined, well, how are you ever going to reach your goal? How are you ever going to make that dream happen if you want to quit halfway through? So you got to be determined. So I like that. Ed Harris Jr. All right, so today, this is going to be the last two poems before the weekend. And as you know, I take the weekend off and then I start fresh again on Monday. All right, so today, first poem is called Reaction. And it says, "Why do people think that they can handle things on their own? Do they think it's easier because they are grown? Life has trips, hang-ups, and falls at every single age. I think it's your reaction that sets the stage. When things get tough, the one man to call, he's the one who created everything, both big and small. He lives to help people who help themselves. You can find the most religious books on the shelves. Being a good person, because nothing is free. By paying those things forward makes life better, you see. I want to make sure family comes first. It said I don't do it before I'm the worst. Kids need consistent love and attention. I have all girls, did I forget to mention? God blessed me and gave me a rush. The stuff given to me was almost too much. I am given I'm going to leave you with these kind words. Not living God's plan is absurd. Happy thoughts in life. Happy thoughts in and out. That's what life's all about." So basically, it's taking life as it comes. You can't control what comes at you, but you can determine how you react to it. So if something's negative coming at you, well, you could always find the silver lining in just about anything. So if you really want to, find that and committed to not seeing all the ugliness in the earth, and you just want to see the beauty or see the love or see the good things, well, then you can find good things in everything. And I'm not saying that they're actually good as in everybody will think they're good, but they're good as in it's better than the situation that it's being presented in. So basically, this poem reaction is, I'll read it to you. It says, reaction is about how you are going to make sure that you're going to do right for you and your family. Your family deserves constant love and attention. If you're struggling, then how are you going to give it to them? How are you going to give them these happy thoughts and memories? How are you going to lead them and guide them if you're the one torturing them? Just know that you need to have a plan to make it through this. If the reaction you're going to achieve isn't meant to make sure that they change up the plan, Bruce Lee always says, be like water. That's because when you're in the pot, you become the shape of the pot. And by staying fluid, you always allow yourself the ability to make the changes needed to better the situation. And, that's another great example. When Bruce Lee gives this philosophy, he says just stay fluid, stay whatever you are. If you stay like water, water takes shape of whatever it goes into. So it doesn't matter if it starts off in a, say, square. When you dump it into some circle, it's now become circle. Same thing when you dump it into a triangle. It just stays, and it'll just mutate into whatever's triangle. So by having that kind of reaction to things will actually make your life better as well. Because then you're no longer letting things get heaped up on you and dragging you down. Basically, you're like a duck and just everything's just beating off your back, and you're living life carefree because you just by the way you're reacting to it. And one day I will hopefully be able to act like that and to react like that. I tried to several times. I'd tell my wife, I'm not going to yell anymore. And, I'd probably make it maybe a couple weeks or a month without yelling. And then all of a sudden something happens and I don't like making excuses. But then, for lack of a better reason, I just start yelling again. And then she's like, hey, how come you're yelling again? And it kind of, irritates me that happens. Because it's like, hold on a second, I'm the one who had the plan. Now I feel like a failure because I couldn't, I'm trying to live up to my goal here and somebody calls me out on it. And, I just didn't like that. But it was for, trying to get me better, and because I'm the one who came up with it. But it still doesn't take any of the sting out of you not being able to accomplish it. So, one thing I can say is, if somebody's making a goal, don't throw that goal in their face if they don't make it or not doing something a part of it. Just ask them if there's something like you could help them with in order to make that goal. Because if you say something to them like, oh, hey, I thought you weren't going to do this, you're just setting up an argument or a fight, because you're going to not only irritate the person that you're saying it to, but you're almost making it saying, hey, you're not a man of your word. So that's, just there's fighting words in a lot of people's lives. And so I'm just a little word of caution, to when you approach somebody that's trying their best to do better, you don't want to be that hindrance. You want to be that helpful person. And sometimes just by wording things better can make other people's lives better and easier. So just know your audience. Okay, next poem. It's called How Many? How many of us give blood to blood drives, even though we know it could save many lives? How many of us give to charity groups? How many of us make them jump through hoops? How many of us are willing to help those in need? How many of us help those starving animals feed? How many think just because a few bucks is enough? How many think they caused their own problems so tough? How many realize they're blessed so that they should share? How many criticize God when know you care? How many of us believe in heaven or hell? How many believe life is like an ocean which has giant swell? How many of us just wait for things to unfold? How many of us wait till be told? How many think that they are truly free? How many think that they're really in a cage? Don't you see? How many give a choice to walk a path? Now you have to face the wrath. You were a test run, you failed. What you should have done was just bail. So the poem How Many is just going through certain things that people go through on a daily basis and choices that they can make. A lot of times people will sacrifice things just to do other things because it's the choices that we live and make. Oh, hey, I only make this much money, so that, say, your car payments can only be this much money. That's if you're not going to pay a car for cash. Some people don't care about cars, so they're willing to sacrifice sometimes reliability just to not have a payment and cheaper insurance. And then they'll be saving money up so that way when they do have more money, they could just pay cash for another car that's more money. But everybody has their ways of doing it, and neither one of them are wrong. It's just personal preference. But just be aware of the choices that you make. A lot of people, when they start their lives off, they go to school. And college isn't free. So now you're taking on student loans. And then now you find a job. So now you're working, but then you buy a car because you need a reliable transportation to get to your job. So you don't want to pay cash in that beater car. You want a good car. So now you go into more debt because you buy a car. Now that you have a job and a good car, now you want a house to live in. Okay, well now that's even more debt because now you have student loans, car, house. And it's all choices we make. I mean, you know, but just be aware that choices we make have consequences, you know. So when you choose not to give blood, and then all of a sudden say your blood type is rare though, and something happens to you, and there's a blood shortage with your level, you know, you're part of the problem, not the solution. And so anytime I see the blood drive coming every 3 months, I give blood, O positive, universal donor. So just make sure, you know, I do my part, you know, anywhere I can. You know, I donate to charity groups as well. Sometimes it's in the form of stuff. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's time. You know, people get confused on donations as well. And it could be your time. So time is valuable. We only have so much of it. So if you're giving somebody your time, then, hey, that's great, and more power to you. You know, but these are just a lot of these things that are just running through my head constantly that I see people doing, you know, just doing just the bare minimums, you know. And I think to myself sometimes, man, if people just acted in kindness and did more and tried real hard, you know, and just, man, you know how great the world would be. Or, you know, you don't even have to do the world. You could just even make a big impact in your own town. You know, it's all too often you hear about these people doing great things for other people, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Those feel-good stories all the time. And I'm just always impressed when people just, out of the clear blue, just, oh, hey, I just had a bunch of, you know, either stuff or donated, you know, had a bunch of time to donate. So, you know, I helped out here, there, in this place and did this for that. And it's always the little things that make the most to people. Because if you're giving your time, I mean, I just, you know, just so impressed with that, you know. But I'll end this session once again with this saying by Eddie Harris. And he said, "It takes a dream to get started, a desire to keep going, and a determination to finish." So, hey, I say, set a goal for yourself. You know, a goal, a dream, whatever you want to call it. Work hard on it, stay motivated to do it, and try to accomplish that dream. You know, maybe your dream is to write a book. Well, heck, start it. First put an outline out and, you know, see what you have. And then just kind of scribble down a couple of chapters. Next thing you know, you have a book written. And, you know, you just keep going from there. Next thing you know, man, you're an author. And, you know, you keep going from there. Just want to thank everybody that keeps supporting me on a daily basis. I greatly appreciate it. It's the 4th of July weekend. So everybody's going to have a great time celebrating their freedoms. You know, thankful for all the people that are willing to go fight for our freedoms. Without them, we wouldn't have any. You know, and don't forget, though, freedom is something you have to continually fight for. It's not always going to be handed to you, and people are always going to try to take it away from you. So stay alert, stay active. Remember, freedom ain't free, and as long as we have a government, they'll always try to take it from you. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday.